I'm live. I'm live. Let's hope IG doesn't start their shit. Hello, everybody. We're here for, well, not everybody because nobody's on yet. So I'm waiting for IG to let everybody know we are here. We're on a little early today, earlier than we would normally be. Let me bring, hey, Dawn53, Money Talks EDU. All right, let me bring my guy on here. Stucky with you. Is that my brother from England? Hi, love bug. I miss you. All right, now Dex, I brought you on. Hi, Money Talks. Oh, there we go. Hi, Dexter.
Hey, Latoya.
How are you? This is a wonderful Monday.
Well, I have a little bone to pick with you.
Okay, spill.
So today is the day. Happy birthday, Jade. Today's her birthday, right?
Oh,
Jade.
oh yes, Jade's birthday.
So I posted some happy birthday messages to her, right, on like social media, and all day
Mhm.
people have been writing me in my DMs and like even in our group chat. They're like, "Oh my God, Toya's so funny. This and the third. Toya's so funny." Like throughout all day, like I've been getting all these DMs. Like actually, nobody said happy birthday to her in my DMs. They're all like, "Toya's so funny. Ha ha ha. Toya, Toya, Toya." Even in the group chat or whatever, just your name keeps coming up. And then I realized I got a message from everybody else except for you, which means you didn't watch my story.
Well, you know how I feel about stories, sweetie. Like, sweetie, we talked about this.
Other
Our
people,
commenters know about this. Huh?
I understand you don't want to watch other people's, but you have to watch mine. Like, that means you saw my thing lit up there with that red circle around it. You just said, oh, well, I'll just keep scrolling.
Because
And
Dexter,
you were talking to me today. You sent me messages, which means you definitely saw that I posted a story and you didn't click it. That is insane to me.
if it involved me, why would you not at me so I could definitely see it?
And you posted stories today. You
Yeah,
are garbage. Like, what is wrong
yeah.
with you?
That's the only.
That is crazy.
We've talked about this. When it comes to stories, I get weird. I know it. People watch stories. They do. And that is the thing. People go ahead, watch, and keep it moving. But for me, I always look at it like it's pressure. If I watch your story, I have to tell you, I have to say something like I've seen it. But here's the thing. You need to be mad at yourself
No,
because you sitting here mad because everybody giving me props for Jade's birthday post, whatever it was. I apologize. I didn't see it. Why wouldn't you tag me?
you know what's funny? When I shared, it's a video that I had shared previously, and you were tagged before, but I didn't want to put another tag on there again. It doesn't matter. You should have looked at my story. You should have saw. Oh, that's me. That is terrible. I am.
Terrible, Your Honor. And you know what? That's so funny that you say that, Dexter, because just recently, like, especially over this weekend, I said to myself, because I feel like I've been getting a little better with watching stories.
No, because every time you watch one of mine, you respond to it. So actually, you're still bad.
I'm trying to get better as far as like if I see the whole gallery up there, I'll hit it and I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on. But before you fucking notice, it'll be 20 minutes of you watching people's stories. I have my own story to deal with, to create. My life is my story. Yeah, so make sure you are. What'd you say?
Stories are definitely addicting. Like you get, I like the stories more than I like the page, like the scrolling. I just go through it. Because people post more in their stories now.
They do. I think because you get, you know what, IG and this whole algorithm, I don't understand. I really don't understand it. I've been looking for clues, a clue. Like, I don't understand why they're doing this. Like, at first, I thought, like, they were saying, like, okay, we're going to get more on videos. And then they were doing this reel thing. You got to post reels and put you to the top. But now it's like, bruh, if you don't want us here, just tell us where the door is because
Instagram has kind of told us that already. That's why we're making plans to like Speaking
Exactly.
speaking of plans, how was your weekend?
My weekend was amazing, actually. Hey, Boykin, to Boykin. Thank you, baby, for noticing. Sorry, I'm giving y'all Wild Kingdom tonight with the slim down, so it might look a little more slim. But my weekend was amazing. I'm sorry, decline. Walgreens is in my business. Did y'all see that? Was it a little delay?
No.
Okay, I got a phone call. Sorry. Um, it was amazing. I actually on Friday night, which is so weird because you ever show up someplace and you like want to hunt it like with the attitude. I don't understand what was going on. I don't understand. It was lack of sleep and lack of eating. So my girlfriend hit me up last minute and she was like, "Hey, there's this show going on at some coffee house." So at first, earlier in the day when she told me, I was like fully about it. But then as the day went on, I was like, "Yo, what the hell?"
What did I
So
get?
I said,
Why did I?
yes. But you know, I'm such a lover of live music and the vibe. Like when she said a coffee shop or a coffee house, I said, okay, like that means I can wear sweatpants or whatever the case may be. Show up, such a fucking, I'm sorry, such an amazing event. Cadence in the clouds. At some point, I want to reach out. We're going to have the creator of I guess you can call it the events. It's funny because she started off as a blog. She worked in the music industry. She got tired of like putting out her opinions and trying to let people know, like, listen, these are hot. These people are hot. Take a look. And they just would be like, oh, whatever. So she took the time, left the industry, and she said, I'm going to create my own venue or my own program to where she highlights local artists in particular, and she pairs it with like local businesses. There was food and drink, but when I tell you the vibe was insane, I'm so happy I went, even though I pulled up like I'm not for this shit. But I pulled up and I had such an amazing time, and it was great being able to like really see local talent. I feel like with Philly, we have such a musical dynasty here in this city. Just we are the creators. I mean, even if you think of the sound of Philadelphia and so many the neo soul movement, hip hop between. I mean, you go all the way back to Will Smith to further like today, Meek. I mean, I don't know if he's as relevant anymore.
I think he is. I mean, like
I think so too, but some people beg to differ.
in the conversation, he's there. He's in the conversation.
Yes, I would say that too, Dexter. But yeah, so it was, and I've always been a fan of local musicianship.
And look, saying he's in the conversation also isn't saying much because look who he's okay.
You're right. And you're right on that too. But yeah, it was just I love local talent, and it's just amazing that they have this platform to perform on. So the next time they come, I think she's going to settle. That was her first her launch of it. So I was asking her how many more times, like how does she think she's going to do this, and she said for right now probably every other month, because it gives her time to promote properly and things like that, book the venue properly. So yeah, I'm excited. So I was like, girl, you let me know anything you need me to do because I'm about what you got going on right here.
I loved it. And Black Showman said Philly has star power for sure. 100% agree.
Yes.
I this weekend was great for me. There's two things.
Okay.
One, I went to the mall this weekend, right? Which I haven't really done in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the mall doing TikTok dances.
It's everywhere, Dexter. It's everywhere.
And like, I think I want to be shut down again. Like they were really in the mall, like in the food court, and they was. I said, "What the hell is this?" I felt so old. I'm like, "What is happening here? Like, why you just go shopping and go home? Like, why y'all doing TikTok in the mall?"
Wait. Were they kids or were they adults?
Like they were older than me. No, I only do TikToks in the house. Like I would never be in the mall. Like, what are you doing? Like, sit down. What are we doing?
You know what? I'm not knocking it because at the end of the day, I don't know how much influencer power, the star power these people have. So at the end of the day, when those 6-figure checks start rolling in, look at me crazy all you want to, because the bitch is paid in the shade.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was some people, I'm like, you shouldn't even have a TikTok, and you're in here doing it. You're too old for that. Sit down. Stop it. It was,
But I'm with you on that. It's so funny how people, it's like you couldn't accomplish that same thing at home, like
why are you
in
at
your
the
space.
house? And it's like you're doing this, and all these people behind you are doing it too. Like, you know how sometimes, truthfully, I looked crazy for two reasons. One, I looked crazy because I wasn't doing the TikTok dances and everybody else was. But also, I looked crazy because I had on a mask. Nobody else had on the mask. I'm like,
Cause Joe done told y'all what the issue.
I felt crazy being in the mall with a mask on, when in reality, I think we probably should still
Joe gave the green light, and everybody is following suit. What you need a mask for?
Then the other thing I did this weekend, and if I stick to it, I'm gonna be so obnoxious. I'm so excited about this. I worked out. Well, I started doing like yoga and I did like Pilates and stuff like that. And I'm gonna do like a gym. And then I started the water again. Hey.
Go ahead, tell us Dex, because y'all ain't drinking water like me. You ain't giving gallons like Dex is giving gallons.
But I don't know if this is a gallon though. Yo, it's so different. I will say this though. Remember before I was like, why y'all don't be drinking gallons like me? I think I said that too much, because if you go in the stores, there's no gallons. Like, you can't find gallons of water. Well, you find like 10 gallons. But like, I found this and I'm just like, where the gallons at? What happened? Like, where are
Listen, when you become a top influencer, a top tier influencer, and you have your pulse on the culture, you speak, Dexter, and they follow suit. That's just what it is.
my voice, my influence, so powerful.
What do you say in the chats? My mind, so powerful. It works. Like, it works. I can't help it that mine works better than yours. It just does.
This is the Daniel Thomas UK says, how much water do you drink a day? None.
So what do you go in your water spurts? Like, you be chill for a little bit?
Or I literally would drink water all day, every day. Like, it was my thing. I would do a gallon a day. Every single day I would do a gallon. And then Mexico. And then we came.
You just lost your way.
It's like, it takes me a day sometimes to drink, what are they, 2 liters? Like the regular little bottle. I'm like, Dexter, what is wrong with you? You could do a gallon. And but now I got to get back to it.
So what are you drinking anything in substitute of the water, or is it one of those things like just time goes by and you be like, damn, I ain't really have nothing to drink?
Juice, tequila, like tea. Whatever.
Sweetie, how about you do the reverse? And how if you make water your primary drink, and then you look at the other stuff like it's a treat?
That's what's happening now. And it was weird too, because when I opened this up this morning, I was like, I really don't want to do it. And then I just started drinking, and I'm like, yeah, I missed this. But I think the temperature has a lot to do with it too. The temperature, some sunlight. Also, there's daylight savings time this week. Like, to me, I kind of feel crazy it being like nice outside, and I'm sitting here drinking a soda or something like that. Like, get some water.
So you want some water in your life, but don't fret. Don't fret, my pet, because you can be back to the other stuff on Wednesday since they're talking about snow.
Wait, what?
Yes, well, it's like rain, snow, but tis the season that the weather is on crack cocaine here. Actually, Daniel, my UK bro, do you guys experience the same? I mean, I know they say in England it's usually like cold kind of the majority of the time, but do you guys do you get on crack in between the seasons?
You know, it's funny though, because I looked on my Facebook on this day today, and it was on this day that I had typed like, I'm still waiting for my manager to send that work from home email, which means it had to have been snowing. So, so there was, but like we are in the month of March, so a snow shocking. This today is kind of like, what's happening? And we should be getting.
It's like, what had happened here? But everybody, come on in, have a seat. Thank you for joining. Yes, guys. So we're actually, to explain, we're on a little early today because of the storms over here are about to be on and popping, and to risk any possible interference, we just said let's go on a little early before they shut us the hell down because you know they be hating on us any damn way. Okay, let's get into some local stuff. You talked about the masks. Oh, also happy birthday to my little sister who turned 18 on the 3rd. But yesterday we celebrated like just with me, her, and my mom on a lunch. He said Daniel Thomas UK says, listen, the weather here is seriously bipolar. You can wear all seasons clothes in one day. Okay, so we're not alone.
Wait, but underscore 4XL said move to the South. I grew up in the South, and like y'all don't even get out the temperatures, and y'all are ridiculous. They be getting ice, and they be like, shut the city down, shut it down,
shut it. A little ice on the road.
Emily lives in Mississippi, and they're posting about it, whatever, and they'll post pictures of the snow, and I'm like, I literally have more ice in my refrigerator or my freezer than you have on the ground. Like, y'all are crazy over down there.
Just shut the whole city down. People on the expressway for 8 years. It's insane.
Recently, Atlanta did that. Atlanta got snow, and they shut down. Mind you, Atlanta has dealt with a full pandemic for 2 years with no issue, but that's a little bit of snow. It's like, we out.
But we know. Stop. Because we know the pandemic wasn't in Atlanta. Like we've talked about this. You gotta reel it back, Dexter. Atlanta and certain parts of Florida, it wasn't no pandemic there.
In Houston.
Houston too? Okay, definitely was. So those 3 places in the States, there was no pandemic there. If you guys would like to add on to the list, hit the comments after the show is over and just let us know who else was pandemic free this past 2 years. Oh, we'd like to hear their stories.
Same.
10 years of journalist.
Oh, Augusta, Georgia. I have family in Augusta too.
That's my own Kate uncle. But yeah, this is where we are. So yeah, we're open to taking any interviews of people who were in these pandemic-less states, and we really like to know, like, how did it take a toll? Like, did it take any tolls on you?
So like when you saw it on the news, when they were talking about it in the news, like, and they were saying it's affecting the whole world, did you look at it and be like, dang, that's crazy? Hope they all right.
And don't come to this state, cause we good over here.
Everywhere else but us.
Yeah, okay, let's get into some the mask mandates. They've been rolled back here in the city. Like, some people are still going ahead and still choosing to abide by the past rules. How are you feeling about this, Dex? Is there like a comfort level you might have, a false sense of comfort? How have you been navigating this maskless era?
I feel uncomfortable with it because,
okay,
like, I used to, when I would go in the grocery store and I would see somebody without a mask, I would be like, wow, they really don't have a mask on. Like, it's crazy to me that they're not wearing the mask, right? And now, when I'm in the grocery stores, literally yesterday I was in the grocery store, and I'm like, I look crazy here having this mask on, and literally nobody else in this store has a mask on. I saw one woman with a mask on. It made me feel like, oh my God, I feel seen. I'm not the only one. Like, but mind you, it was one person out of 100, and I'm just like, am I crazy here? Like, why am I still wearing masks and nobody else is doing it? And you know what? I'm one of the only people who I know who didn't catch COVID. Not at all. I never had COVID.
Okay.
Who had COVID, they be out here with no mask on now. And I'm just like, did you catch COVID?
We out. Ain't no worries. Ain't no worries. Especially if you had it in the last 6 months. Ain't no worries. What's up?
It's too soon for me. And this is another thing. We really would sit up and say, like, and people are turning their back on Joe now, and they're like, well, he's lying about this, he's wrong about that, I don't trust the government about this, about that. But then when he'd be like, take the mask off, you'd be like, okay.
Stop it. I mean, I have been very laxed when it comes to the masks, not too crazy, But if I'm out having a good time, I do still wear them sometimes going in and out of the market.
Yes.
But for the most part, I mean, if I'm around somebody like my grandmother, I'm sitting around her. So even though she's vaccinated and everything, I still make sure I have my mask on around her or don't get too close. I still do practice social distancing to an extent, and also the hygiene. Like if I'm in any terminals at the market, putting your hands on stuff. I make sure as soon as I get in that car, go ahead and put my hand sanitizer on. I have worn the mask primarily lately for my asthma and allergies, which it's been doing me wonders for that.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm just on it. Like they said, it's no COVID no more. So get your mask for what? It ain't no COVID.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, look at Crystal Ball said vaccinated and you can still get it. Yeah, like, I mean, like, just because they seem to be being relaxed themselves, the government, I don't think that means we need to as well. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like we're to me, it
Yeah.
doesn't seem like the last 2 years just happened. Like, it's kind of
No.
like those things where, like, you get off punishment and you forgot what got you on the punishment in the
Yeah.
first. Come on, y'all.
I really wish though they would, because with all of this, like drop everything. We don't have to abide by it. But if you paid attention, what's been happening the past 2 years of COVID and the winter seasons, like fall season going into like dead of winter, it has traditionally picked up. But as soon as, the temperatures start tapering off and going down, people will go in like, okay, still be cautious, but get out there and live your life. So that's how I'm looking at it for me. Huh?
The sun will kill it.
Because Trump said it would. Yeah.
He ain't the only one.
Get some bleach. Get some bleach.
Trump ain't the only one who said that either.
Oh, Biden? Who said it?
No, we can go.
Who said it, Dexter?
They don't hear.
Why not?
Because it's shady.
Oh, wait. I think I Well, I know exactly who you're talking about. And let's just say, in the beginning, I was like, shut up, because don't know how you know what we got here. It would be the stupidest thing ever in the beginning when people were really like, because this is what it's going to do when the summer is going to fall down. That first year one, COVID said, F a damn summer, F the seasons. I'm in here. We here.
Yeah, and that's how people are after COVID. We out here. We going to Coachella with the mask off. I wouldn't go to Coachella with the mask off, even if COVID never existed. I'm good on that.
Yeah. Certain things and people and smells, maybe even certain shows, I'm going to keep my mask.
Oh, shout out to Toronto, Canada.
What's going on in Toronto?
Miss.
Oh, hey.
From
Miss Maisie. Yes. Hey, Miss Maisie. Welcome to the States. Actually, Miss Maisie, the way it's going over here, you mind Miss Maisie, can we pull up if we need a place to stay?
Can you sponsor a visa?
Because Canada is hard. They'll be wanting us up there. We be trying.
Wait, real quick, because I know we're in the middle of our search, but it's snowing in Canada. I'm good. Stay up there. We good.
Yeah, well, how Canada gets it. But remember when Jay-Z dad Pop went up there to get the medications?
No.
Oh my God, Dexter, you don't?
I didn't even know Jay-Z had a dad.
It was his grandfather. I guess it was his mom's father.
He went to Canada.
Yes, he went out. He had these prescription medications. He drove up to Canada to go buy his prescriptions. Tried to come back across the border. I said,
That's not how we do this. Well, that's ironically though. That's what's happening with Britney right now too. The NBA basketball.
Britney Spears.
Britney, right. The NBA, the WNBA player.
Oh yeah, the one who's stuck in the Ukraine right now.
She's stuck in Russia.
Oh, and oh shit.
Well,
Is
it's
she
better
all right?
Russian to be stuck in Ukraine.
I just wouldn't even want to be any association with Russia. Like, I would go live and let y'all know I'm here, but my background, like the green screen, we're gonna be on some beach somewhere because I just don't want to do it.
Griner. Her last name is Griner. Brittany Griner. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she may be in jail. From what I was reading on it, and I should pay more attention to the story, but from what I've seen on it, she was caught in the airport. I'm assuming leaving Russia. Caught in the airport with, I forgot exactly what it was, but it was some form of like a drug substance, and the penalty for that drug substance is 10 years in jail. So.
Oh, and Russia? What was the substance?
Something oil something or whatever. I didn't write it down. I didn't even think we were going.
Was it weed? Like, what the Russians? What's the problem? Because according,
It's not like where you could just smuggle stuff across the border.
it's not what? It's not what?
Go ahead with your stories.
Oh, and our baby friend from Canada. Thank you so much for following our journey from being with Patty Jackson and doing our features with her, and now she pulled up on us to come see us, pop in for week to week.
The commenters are like, I've been watching.
Oh, vaping oil.
Vaping oil. They said it's like weed, and they said she's been in jail for 3. I'm not sure if it's 3 weeks or 3 months. It went too fast, but like, thank you guys. These people, you guys are amazing. Like, y'all,
they are amazing. But this is my issue. So now that our beautiful commenters have cleared it up that it was like a vape oil, according to these a lot of shows on Hollywood and stuff, the Russians been pumping drugs in here for how long? And like real drugs?
Well,
crime empires over here, and you worried about some vape oil?
Yeah.
When we over there?
I do stuff like this in y'all house. Don't come over to my house doing this mess. I ain't doing that. Don't do that over here. And some Valentine stuff. That sounds freaky.
Yeah. Well, what was really going on over there? What was that country where it was like the prime minister? He was big on anti-LGBTQ. We reported this story a while ago.
What was that? I forgot. Where it was though.
Yes, like we talked about it. Big anti-gay supporter, not supporting LGBTQ in the movement. Why they catch him at the gangbang?
For that.
And it was like, what they say, like 50 men in a room?
I don't remember the full situation, but I remember that happening. Next week, I'm gonna come with my laptop so I can do research too, because y'all be on it. That is amazing. And
the comments stopped for me, so I can't even see it, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, that happened. Also here in Philly. I'm sorry. Say that again.
She said her delay, and like, no, you're good. Like, you were still on it when we were still talking about it.
Okay, perfect. For our listeners, or the watchers, thank you, commenters, for always coming through. Here in another local story, there's a man in Spring Garden. He has recently been walking around in an Amazon vest and going into people's apartments and either stealing their packages from outside or actually breaking into your apartment
and steal
to take your stuff and leave. And nobody says anything because I got packages. I work for Amazon. You see it?
Wow.
But I needed to stop.
Yeah, because there's never a reason why a person who has an Amazon vest on to be taking something from a place either. If you see them with a box in their hand walking out of the place, because like, they don't come and pick up the stuff when you have to return it. That's crazy. The stealing has to really like stop. Like, this is ridiculous.
Because now y'all just out here stealing for nothing. Like, y'all stealing just to be stealing. But you know what I have seen less of lately? Them running down to the Gucci and the Louis Vuitton snatching.
True.
It seems like, but Joe done told y'all we ain't getting no more stimulus checks.
Well, they're not doing that because they're stealing cars now.
You're right.
They're from the Louis Vuitton store and steal people's cars, honestly.
And though they're stealing those the things in the car. What are they called? It's this part that costs a ton of money. So they're stealing that, but usually essentially if you get that taken from your car just ain't gonna move. So now when I'm out in the streets, I be on PTSD. Getting the car to start it up. You ain't going nowhere.
That's crazy.
Just get a new car and trash it.
The stealing is just, it's out of hand.
It's insane. The one you saw the video I sent to y'all with the woman. She did a TikTok. It went viral of her bragging about stealing stuff from the grocery store. Pulled that shirt up, out that bra, all this pork chops, everything from the frozen department.
Person steals food from a grocery store.
Yes, I'm sorry. Somebody said the catalytic converter. Thank you guys. Y'all really are the best. We bang with y'all for real. Continue, Dax.
If a person steals something out of a grocery store, I don't really care. Because I look at it like this: if you're stealing food, like you need that. Like nobody's stealing food because they want to. Like you steal food because you need to. I'm not saying it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't. Whatever.
Well, no. I've been to the hair salon on around Thanksgiving, and they be coming in. And this was years ago. Y'all been stealing from the grocery store because they be coming in there. I got that cheese, got that Cracker Barrel cheese for y'all macaroni and cheese. I have seen it. They've been stealing from the market.
Where do you get your hair done? Because that's ghetto.
This is when I was getting my hair done on 52nd Street with my cousins.
Don't go back there no more.
No, you got to. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you knowing what's happening in these streets. So if you ever need like some discounted
cheese,
any type of discounted retail items, they take advantage of the market. It's around the holiday season. I'm in an area where Black people, who's not trying to make macaroni and cheese?
I get it, but like stealing food to sell it to other people, to me that's a bit much. If you stole food out of the store because you need to feed your family, like okay, I get it. But you're still you want to steal.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm gonna give people a little pass on food because this inflation.
Is that Marie?
Y'all.
Hey, Marie.
Oh, hey, Marie. I tried to wave at her. I couldn't. Hey, love bug. But yeah, the price of food is very expensive out here. So listen, do what you gotta do. Just keep us out of it. You wanna go ahead and you need to put that meat under your titties?
Yeah. And that's another thing. If you're gonna steal out of a store, like you don't need to go on Instagram and show us that you stole out of the store. Like that. What are we doing that for?
I'm about this life. Y'all need me? Hit me up. I gotta advertise my services. I need coin. And besides, you getting a discount. You know me. This 18 pack of pork chops in the market is $25. I'm gonna give it to you for $7. What's up?
I don't know. It's weird though.
You want it or
not? Go ahead. I'll address it eventually.
And they keep it in the cooler for you. So what you want? What's the problem, sweetie? It's cold.
Yeah. If you have to smuggle meat from under your breast, I don't want to pay. I'm good. And if I have to know that you sell or steal food from seeing you post on social media, I honestly don't want nothing to do with you.
I wonder how much her DMs got blown up. Honestly, and you got to consider the source too. Rather you cooked it or stole it, I'm not buying food off of everybody. So.
Wait, Marie said you about to go to jail over a pot roast.
Yes. Marie, they said, gotta catch me first.
$500 worth of clothing for $200. And if there's food, she would do that too.
Wait, what happened?
Entertain_me says she got $500 worth of clothes for $200. And if someone had a plug of food, she would take advantage. She keeps her ear to the street.
Yes. Get it how you get it. Listen, I'm not. Somebody said black market meat.
I just look. I understand taking advantage of situations, whatever. Clothing, I could even understand that. If somebody had a plug on cologne, I'd probably take advantage of that too. If y'all do have a PlayStation plug, please link me. That I'll take advantage of.
We all got a price.
But
We all got a price.
Pop-Tarts, I'm good.
You don't have babies. When them 5 babies are screaming, throw that Pop Tart.
I'll put it this way: if anybody gonna steal food from me, I can go do that myself. Like I can go steal food myself.
Nah, I'm not. I wish I would go to jail for stealing some damn food. It's too much risk involved. The embarrassment level, no. I can't. I can't with no parts.
I would lie. I would. If I got arrested for food, you'd be like, "Yup." You'd be like, "You went to jail?" I'd be like, "Yeah, for fighting."
What was you fighting?
It was people at the grocery store. You know me. If I say I was fighting, it's kind of one of those things like it's not shocking because everybody hates me in the stores. They always being nasty to me. I should be fighting these people.
Jill, I don't know what it is about Dexter, but it's something about his shopping experiences. They are really the best. And maybe one day we'll get some cameras involved so people can see the real life, like shopping experiences of Dexter Stuckey. It's amazing.
And we can just cross out everything that I just said because I didn't think this full conversation through.
Okay.
Aaron 1854 just said that someone pulled up on him trying to sell crab legs. So I take everything that I said back. Because if somebody stole and they wanted to sell me crab legs, I'm buying them.
And
we're done with this.
And
okay, we're good.
No question. As long as you open the back door, like the back door, and they on ice, I'm in. Marie on here earlier said if it's lobster, I'm in.
No, I'll take it.
What's the issue? You got them companies like Schwan and a couple of other meat companies riding around. Back in the day, they used to knock on your door. Hey, you want to buy 30 pounds of meat? And every now and again, our parents would buy them. Like, okay, refrigerator full of meat. What is the issue with the common man doing the same thing?
Well, I'm doing it for crab legs and lobster. I ain't pork chops. I'm just saying, look, I got standards over here.
So yeah, that's all going on and yeah, in local news. They stealing. Okay, let's get into more local news really quickly. And it's national news and local. Bill Cosby. The Supreme Court states that they will not retry his case. What are your thoughts on that? They said they've heard it. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court has shut it down, so we're shutting it down as well. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think, obviously what he's been accused of is horrible, and but however, if we're going to go by the justice system, this situation was kind of exhausted. So it's kind of it sucks. It's terrible, but what exactly do you want them to do now? Open up the case again? They can't open up the same case it's over with now at this point.
Yes. It's one of these things, all we can do now is just work on to not let these things like this happen again. When it comes up, please believe victims. You gotta believe the victims, and thoroughly do its due diligence to make sure what they are claiming is correct. And let's just stop it from never happening again. That's all I have to say with that. And even when it comes to Bill, let's be clear, a lot of this stuff 30 years ago, a lot of these people were, I'm not even going to hold you, willing participants. I'm sorry. And maybe in the beginning, it did not start off that way. And I'm not going to excuse the behavior, even if they were a willing participant, because it is wrong. But you listen, learn from what Tyra say, learn from this.
Yeah, I think overall, I think society has to learn from it. It's exactly what you said. When people are alleging this stuff, you have to listen to them, because if you do listen to these people, then people wouldn't feel like they have to wait 30, 40 years to speak out on situations. There's this Hugh Hefner documentary it's on Playboy, but it's solely about Hugh Hefner. This man is dead now, and there's no way he's ever going to be brought to justice. And the stuff that they're why didn't anybody say anything? But then you see do you hear this?
Is that a dog?
Yes, everybody in my complex has a dog. Every single person except for me. But that's besides the point. But it's funny though, because I was about to say with the Playboy trial or the Playboy documentary that's on, they said Hugh Hefner was sleeping with dogs. They did. And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? On one end of it, like I hate when it's situations where the person's no longer alive, so they can't be held to justice. Like that sucks. But at the same time, if you did something like this to me and you're dead, you can't speak up for yourself. I'm gonna say you mess with dogs too. I'm gonna say anything. Like I'm like yes, like
Yeah,
you ruined my life when I was here, but I'm gonna ruin your reputation and your death. And you used to sleep with dogs.
done. He was on that doggy
Yep,
D, just doing up
yep.
and down. What I say? Up and down like a roller coaster. He was licking on it. He's nasty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it too. And I get what is going? Wait, like the dogs used to lay in the bed.
No,
Yeah.
no, E.C. McLean. His ex-girlfriend said that she walked in and caught him with her dog, and she made sure the dog never stayed with him again. And his driver said that this was a thing that went on a regular with him and dogs. And his ex-girlfriend said that he was interested in men too. It was insane. Like that whole thing. It's on A and E, and I think
What you think is going on?
it. I'm telling y'all, you got to be prepared to sit and watch that because that is some. It's
It's a lot. After the Don Cornelius, it was so it was so intense. I don't even think I went back after that. I just needed to go off all the way and then do like a binge of it just because I kind of just want to get it out the way. Because as graphic as it is and as sad as it is, I can't have that sitting on my spirit all of the time, like every night thing. Gotta catch it, gotta catch it.
yeah. I do.
You like gotta catch them all.
Bill Cosby is addressed in this. Like he's in the intro of it too. So like they're gonna do something with him in this too. It's on 8.
Mhm.
And also
Yeah.
another thing, E.C. McLean said, and this is episode 5 I'm talking about with the dog stuff. Like y'all can skip that episode.
Mhm.
But
I'm not skipping it. We need to know.
there was a woman, she's a porn star, Linda Lovelace. They said that they got her like so drunk and all that kind of stuff like that. She pulled up to the Playboy Mansion. She got out of her car or whatever, and a German Shepherd walked over, and it was all these guys crowding around and
Yep.
made her perform on the German Shepherd, which is like,
I wonder if she was high, like, because a lot of this stuff, it's horrible. And let's be clear, most people, because of course, even me, I'd be like, well, you did the shit? Like, you didn't have to do it.
well,
But if they're intoxicated and you've been slipped drinks and you're out of your mind of sorts, like,
a lot of this whole thing was abuse too. So it's kind of
yeah,
one like they probably weren't as drunk or high as you would think that you would have to be to do that. It's just fear of abuse, and that's one of the biggest
very true.
they led with.
And it's what and how they explained a lot of it at the same time there would be like multiple people, like 30 plus people around. So if I'm in the state and it's like 30 plus people around, and it's say if I'm young and naive and all these 30 people is telling me like, no, it's cool, we do this all the time. Impressionable people will be like, well, I guess so. But overall, from this documentary, I really hope people learn. Please stop. Like Hugh Hefner, he built his whole empire off of sexuality,
Yes.
being sexually promiscuous. And we as a culture for 50 plus years took it on and we embraced it and was like, oh, this guy is so cool without really caring about the women's stories behind it. Like everything, we ate it up. Everything that glitters, we in our minds, oh, it's gold. But I really do hope that when somebody builds some type of like empire based off of sex, please do your research like before you buy into anything. I mean, listen, I have to say it when it comes to um out in Vegas, you know, prostitution is free, and the Bunny Ranch, they would put that on there, but it was one of those situations. The girls migrated there and they knew exactly what they were getting into and they enjoyed the freedom. Like you talked it like I used to watch the show.
And that show came out when you were like 17. Like you're a child watching that. You
Got to know about the world.
had the door locked in a room with the TV on real low.
Got to find out about the world, Dexter, what's happening. So even with that, it was like the girls, they were full aware, yes, this is prostitution. I'm okay with the prostitution shit. That's why I came here. It's clean. Like, we go to the doctors, we use antibacterial like products just to make sure we're running a clean ship. Because let's be clear, prostitution is one, I mean, they say it's one of the oldest religions, and it's not a far off concept, not religion, sorry, professions. And it's not a far, huh?
You threw me. I'm like, what y'all worship? Okay. Profession. Got it.
Well, let's be clear. You know, I'm a little history geek. There was a sect of Christianity back in the day who they would have orgies because they felt as though it got them closer to the Lord.
No.
And for sex to feel so good, why would God like make this feeling amazing if we weren't supposed to be slinging our things around?
Okay, so as long as it feels good, right?
I guess so. As long as it feels good. So that matters for some people. Yeah. So that's like, I'm sorry, I was just like, you know, my mind, I'm always watching stuff and taking shit in. And every now and again in moments like this, it pops up. Remember the time. Okay. So let's get into Joe Biden and all the good work he's been doing in our country, how he's been handling. Well, first, let's start. He addressed the PPP fraud in his State of the Union address last week, which was Tuesday. Mind you, totally forgot the whole thing was on. I think.
Oh, you really didn't?
It was housewife night, and it was like a good.
Well, if it came on a Monday and I was watching wrestling, I definitely want to pick it over my show. So I get you.
I genuinely forgot, and I kind of felt bad, but it was Sleepy Joe. I mean, did I really miss anything?
What city of Housewives is it on?
I think on Tuesday it was not Salt Lake City. I don't know. It might have been New Jersey. And I'm fully invested in New Jersey. So those are my girls. I gotta support.
I never watched it, but I watched the Atlanta one though.
Yeah, Atlanta. SLC after that reunion, I'm kind of on it, but they're not my favorite ladies. But anywho, one of the discussions in the State of the Union address, Joe Biden let y'all know these people, y'all out here committing these PPP frauds, y'all going to jail. Mm-hmm. It's happening. We're coming for you, and either you gonna pay up or you gonna serve this time. Now, it's getting really weird on the internet as this happened, as this information was released. You had Kamala in the back clapping. You tell him, Joe, whoever was next to Kamala at the time, I don't recall, Nancy Pelosi. Uh-huh. Our girl, Nancy Pelosi. She left her kente cloth at home, and that's cool because we really don't need it again. But it's nice to know that the three of them are all in of getting y'all PPP like scams together. And it got weird on the internet because people started getting in their feelings about people posting like, y'all going to jail now, they gonna get y'all. Well, what's the problem, sweetie? Because y'all go in on any other thing that pops up, and that's okay. We can do the dozens, or we can bid on that all day. Are you guys projecting? What's going on? Are you afraid?
So I will say, speak on, like, my wife is so upset about that, and it's weird because she doesn't get into politics at all, but like when she saw that was something that he addressed at the State of the Union, she was so pissed about it because she's like, of all the things that are going on and all that stuff like this, this is what you're choosing to put resources towards. And it's not people did anything that was right. Like, what they did was wrong. They stole money, obviously. But at the same time, there's so many other things that are going on. There's so many other people and companies and corporations stealing money. And you're not going to do anything about that. But you're going to focus on these people who took money from the government. When in reality, this is kind of the government's fault too. Like, you put this out there with little to no parameters, and you were just giving people money, $20,000 plus. Well,
let's be clear. When it comes to, and I don't know, maybe a lot of people don't understand how the government, Uncle Sam, worked when it comes to his money. Once they created that list, you should have known what was going to happen if you were a beneficiary of it. Because
But
let's be clear, when
they,
they gave the money out, we're in the middle of a pandemic. You just have to act quickly to get the aid to these people. Like, and at that, we don't have the time to make sure like the red tape is, together. We're doing this on a honor system. We got the funds. It's an honor system.
yeah, but
I don't know why people thought that this was free money that they would never have to pay back. But
but if
listen,
you really think about it though, with our country, we already have, but literally during COVID, people they were releasing people from jail because the prisons were overcrowded. I find it
mhm.
suspicious and very hard to believe that you're going to be able to arrest people for PPP fraud when you don't even have room for the people who are in jail right now. So you're just going to overpopulate the prisons again?
Nah, because I got some people on the inside. They clear. This is what they doing. They clearing it out.
So who are you letting out?
Usually people with smaller crimes. They not letting the prisoner, like the murderers, out, but they definitely letting people out to make room for y'all scamming asses.
What?
And let's be clear, I don't think everybody who took from PPP is going to get jail time. But once you cross a certain threshold, like there's people who was walking around like regular everyday people with over $100,000 and more of PPP loan
Yeah,
money.
because you let them have
You did, but now you got to pay the consequences. Like your parents. It's kind of like your parents. They let you go to the party.
it. To
We
me,
told you your party was 12 o'clock.
this just sounds very odd to me. And if they really are letting people out of jail to make room for these people, like that is insane because essentially what these people did was commit fraud. I just don't think there's anything that jail for right now that's lighter than that. Fraud is to me is a very light thing. I mean, it sucks and it's terrible that you're doing it, but I mean, like people are selling drugs and pushing like heavy drugs and like really affecting people's communities and killing people, and you're telling me that those people, it's like, oh, we got to focus on these like.
What you're saying, Dexter, makes 100%, but this is what I really wish people would understand when it comes to fraud. Fraud stays with you for the rest of your entire life. You never will get rid of that stigma that that's what you've done. So as far as like the future, you wanting to own businesses according to credit, like credit lines and going for loans and things like that, your financial future, and especially if you look like us, what future? Like you, 9 times out of 10, you're not bouncing back from this, depending on what you've taken in, what you've taken, and what you're able to pay back. And most of us, we don't have it to pay it back. So I don't understand why people were so quick to go ahead. It's like, but again, it's the lack of education and people not knowing that how it works.
That's what my wife was saying. Like, it's a lack of education. I'm like, I don't think that you got to have no master's degree to know that you don't own a business, so you don't qualify for this. Like that. Come on, like
Yeah, child. Listen. No, I think not that. It's the repercussions that will happen
how did you?
once you've been caught for fraud.
I mean, look, I get like taking the money and investing it into yourself.
You want to steal so bad, don't you?
Huh?
You want to steal so bad, don't you?
I do think that I should have got one of those loans though, because I would have done the right things with it. I really would have.
Hey, what's that?
Like I would.
You wouldn't have been running down to the Gucci?
Maybe. Well, maybe.
Actually, my sister just told me, her and my mom, they went to the King of Prussia Mall over the weekend. There was a line outside Louis Vuitton. They got their taxes there.
It's always a line outside of those stores too. But I guess that's a good thing though, that there's lines outside of the stores and not people just running in them.
I'm gonna go if I need the bag, I'm taking the bag. What's that line gonna do? And if y'all was smart, y'all would follow suit.
Well,
Get out the line. This is your lucky day.
Imagine trying to rob the King of Prussia Mall. Though that mall is so big, like you run out the Louis Vuitton store, like they're gonna catch you by the time you get to H&M. Like you're not
You
getting.
listen, you better have some type of strategy. Listen, y'all do the plans, any type of building plans, public building plans. It's available for you. You can go and look it up. Work on your escape plan because that mall is too big and has too many loops for you to just go in there winging it. Lord, we're really telling people how to be
You're gonna be
crooks.
you're gonna be in the food court in front of the Auntie Annie's getting arrested with a Louis Vuitton purse. Like, come on, give me this purse and go to jail.
So yes, the scams. And on top of that, with Joe, he also told us, "Get y'all black asses back to work, cause it ain't no reason, we open it up. I told y'all could drop y'all masks
Now that I do,
in the office."
I am a little. That does kind of bother me a little bit, and it bothers me because like I know why this is happening. Like I mean, like we really sat through the State of the Union where he said like gas is astronomical. It's a problem,
Yeah.
very problematic.
Mhm.
I just don't think that you can follow that up by saying, hey, it's time to physically get back into the
Get to
office.
work.
And
Get in there.
I think it's an outdated idea too, because like a lot of like I literally my job now is like my role was hired 100% remote. Like I don't even have the option to go and to work into a building. So this doesn't really affect me. So him thinking that don't really.
But it can. And listen, it could. You never know.
No.
When the people upstairs decide,
If
well, come on, bring everybody back in. We bought a new office space. We have a place for you.
and then Joe will be upset again because I'll begin unemployment.
Joe better be giving some motherfucking gas stipends with us going back into the office because your lying ass told us weeks ago, like a couple months ago, that I'm going to release the reserve and gas prices are going to go down.
Mm-hmm. But you know, overall though, like I think what's really irritating to me about this is that like that conversation that he's having, like I just feel like there's no young people on his team because the
Can't be.
that he's having, like we need to move forward and open the country back up. Like companies who are able to have people physically back in there and who want that, they've been doing that. Like
Yes.
the way things are working right now with people having this remote work and these remote work opportunities, it's because they're designed to be that way. Like it's not one of those things where it's like we have to do this because we can't go back into the building. Like we just don't want to. And like the
Thank you.
and stuff like that, they're still being populated because yes, we're working from home, but we're still getting our Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and going to lunches. Like this stuff is still happening. And I
Thank you. It's still happening.
came across like very outdated, and it kind of to me feels like Joe is trying to pander to the other side, especially because he didn't
Yes.
think about the January 6th riots. Like you didn't even mention that. And honestly, that was something that was done against you. Like they came after you with that. Like they literally were doing that because of you. I just feel like he should have at least said something about it. Kind of like,
Yes.
I mean, you talk about the war in Russia, and you're like, we will not let them invade and take over, but that's literally what these people tried to do. I just think that should have been addressed.
Could have been something. I mean, it's far-fetched. Not saying I believe in all conspiracy, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but could both sides been somewhat a part of it? Because like literally, we are that was 2021, correct?
Mhm.
You don't, and it was spread. Like people were very aware this was going to happen on social media. Yet you have, and the Democrats at this point are in control. Yet you have next to no support as far as police officers. You don't have the National Guard come out. These people are planning an attack on the heart of the damn country.
One of the big things with Donald Trump that they were upset about is that he didn't release the national, because he was the president at the time, and he didn't release the National Guard, so people were really upset about that. I mean, I do think though that something about this now that in retrospect, looking back, like you mean to tell me all these people stormed the Capitol? I actually just interviewed a police officer who was there, and he said they had like bear tasers and bear mace and all that kind of stuff like that. And it's that like all these people broke into the Capitol and they did this or whatever, but like nobody got hurt. Like no. Like
Well,
nobody.
no, people did get hurt.
Well,
Some people died.
none of like this. I mean, none of like the senators or nothing like that. Like no representative. Like nobody got. I don't know. It just not saying that I
Well,
wanted.
AOC, remember AOC said she heard them
Heard all
banging
the,
on the door trying to come through a block down.
but nobody. Nothing happened to nobody. Like it just seems kind of. I mean, look, I
And
watched.
some of the people,
I,
and some of the senators opened the door. Come on now.
yeah, it just to me it just don't seem. I don't know. Something about this just seems a little. I watched the TV show Scandal. Maybe that's my problem. I'd be watching this, so I think everything's fake.
Well, listen, a lot of stuff, they got to get the ideas from somewhere. A lot of times, I mean, they say art doesn't imitate life, that they didn't come from nowhere. So, hello. Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist because some people jump on everything, but you got to be real. If something don't make sense, you got to point it out. Like, hello. At least question it in yourself, especially when it comes to politics. Rioters didn't want that smoke. Well, they should have kept their ass home.
See, but I don't believe that though. I feel like they did. Like they were in there for a purpose. They weren't in there just. Well, actually, I don't know, Toy, because now these people, I kind of believe the rioters because a lot of them were like, I was just in there to take a picture. I think that might be true. I really don't think y'all were trying to.
We were on Trump told us to come up there for a tour.
I think Nancy Pelosi could have walked out in the middle of all of them and they would have just looked at her. I don't think they would have done anything, truthfully. It don't seem like they tried to.
They stole some mail. Well, maybe
Jail. You got to go to jail for that. Lock them up.
child, this is this country. But yeah, Trump, do something about this gas. But I was watching the news and I forgot which news station it was on. They did say that, which I don't know, I'm for this as long as the gas prices come down a bit. So they said regarding Russia, they said a lot of U.S. citizens, 90% of people support the ban on Russian oil, even if it makes our rates go up as part of punishment for what they're going through. Now, let's be clear, I don't mind our rates going up a little bit, and I do feel like we need to somewhat take our dependency off of off of a lot of the foreign things that we bring into this country, especially when we have it here. But I don't know, I guess that's just the whole conversation. It seems like now we're really starting to head into, people are really starting to think about like what's right and wrong when it comes to political policies. So for me, I'm looking at it like, okay, this is like a step in the right direction because I don't think people would have a problem with paying more for certain things as long as they see the dollar working for them. Like some countries, the tax is extremely high, but everything that the tax money goes toward that they don't have to pull out of their own pocket, it's just like, okay. So I don't know. Hopefully for the states, like we will start being more conscious of where we get our certain services from.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I don't think people in the United States would care. According to social media this weekend, I don't look at gas prices. What I'm going to do, walk? I've seen that multiple times. Like, people don't care about they have enough money to pay for the gas stuff. And I've seen people flat out say, like, y'all broke because y'all complaining about the gas prices, this and the third. So, like, maybe we don't care. Maybe it's just me. Truthfully, though, I don't look at the gas prices. I never look at the gas prices because, like, I just...
You're going to pay it.
Huh?
You're going to pay it.
Not necessarily that. It's just like, for the most part, I just put $20 in my car and I'm good to go. Like, but then when you start to put that same $20 in your car and you realize it's not even half a tank and you got to put more in there and then you're filling up your car for $50, sure, you don't pay attention to the gas price, but I definitely pay attention to the money that's coming out of my pocket. And I just hate that we're getting into this mindset and this attitude of where it's like we're trying to flex on everybody else when it comes to money. Like, paying attention to gas prices is not a bad thing. Paying attention to out of your pocket is not a bad thing. And filing your taxes and being excited about a tax refund is not a bad thing. It's okay to be excited about your money that's coming back to you if you're getting some back to you.
True. Now, somebody said Protective Style said, I'm sorry, this light's so damn bright. We don't have enough to be self-sufficient long term, but we do need to pick better with who we deal with. Exactly. I 100% agree with you on that. But I'm just still waiting because Joe said he released some. Or was the reserve ever released? Because he said that they should start going down some because we're tapping into some of our own. Ever since he said that, I've only seen everything go up. So, Joe, I need you to explain this to me, please. Why you ain't talk about that on State of the Union?
Well, he did mention
Like,
it. He did say something about the reserves again and like gas prices going down soon. Like he did say it, but I just had
where is it? You've been saying that for 2 months now.
well,
Where is
well,
it?
in his defense, he said it before, and then this war happened over there.
Yeah, so, and with the sanctions, that's another reason why we're sky high right now. So everybody just somewhat have some patience, bear with it. But Joe, you really need to revise this going back to the office full speed ahead because people got to get to the office, Joe. Joe,
I don't.
people don't have the money to keep going forth and spending over $100 a week for some people to get to and from. So right now it would make, until we get past this, I think economically on like our pockets, the average American's pockets, staying home for now until we see what happens with this. Let's just keep it here. When we get out of this, then let's revisit that scenario. But right now, most people cannot afford it. Stop it, Joe.
And last thing on Joe Biden, I think for this to be your first year in office, like you're doing a very piss poor job. Like your approval rate is at like 46, and like you see why though. It kind of shows. Like you know how sometimes like with Obama and Hillary Clinton, it's like, oh well, or even Donald Trump, you're like their approval rating is where it is because of X, Y, Z. And you're like, yeah, but people don't like them, or it's because he's a black man, because she's a woman. With Joe, like your approval rating is where it's at because exactly it's because of you and what you're doing. And like, come on.
And I know I'm so tired of the back and forth. Like people get so mad, and I notice even a lot of black people when it comes to Democrats right now. You got to give them a chance. You can't be mad, especially a lot of public figures are getting upset with average citizens on the street. You cannot get mad when I don't want to say poor leadership. I really don't want to say that, but from what I can tell, everything that you've run on, I'm not going to say you haven't given anything, but it's not enough. I'm sorry. And people keep saying, wait. Well, how long are we going to wait? Because before you know it, he'll be out of office and things still haven't gotten done. So
E.C. McLean 40 said, were we this hard on Obama or Trump as we are on
yes,
Joe? And I don't think that anybody...
Absolutely.
I don't think anybody's being hard on Joe. I think that's the problem. Like Joe Biden is saying this stuff and no one's saying anything about it. Like,
yeah,
people are like okay with it, like okay with the stuff that he's doing, and they will argue with you and make excuses for it. I don't think Obama or Trump, definitely not Trump, were afforded that luxury. I really.
Well, let's be clear. So this is something I was going to mention a while ago, and think about it as something as small and minute as this. When Trump was out there, and Trump is a POS, I will say it. I don't care who disagrees with me or what. That's what I will always say about him. I know you do. But he really is a POS. But let's be clear. When he was running his ass down the Florida at Mar-a-Lago, golfing, this and that, everybody in the world kept talking about it. Joe, from what I can tell, spends a whole lot of time home. A whole lot of time home in Delaware.
Well, I don't have an issue.
Where's the same energy?
For me, like that's one of those things I don't have an issue with at all. Like I'm fine with it. I was fine when Trump did it, and I'm fine with Joe did it. Because like to me, like this, it's not like I'm not working because I'm at home. Like I'm still doing what I got. Whatever. Like I don't have an issue with that. I think my biggest issue is that like things are happening and things are being said, and obviously like with this thing like having people go back to work and stuff like that. It is okay for you to say that this is problematic to me. I don't like this.
Yeah.
The same way how like anything that Donald Trump did, people were like, I don't like this. I don't want this. It's okay to disagree with what he's saying and still support.
It's okay.
It's not a bad.
Thank you.
It's
but this is what the country was created off of. Like, this is what a democracy is. And you feel like you're vilified if you say something different than what the general masses or the ones who you tend to go with. You say anything different, Lord have mercy, shut up.
I think the Chucks and Pearls crew are like upset, and like you don't have to be. Like I didn't have an issue with Donald Trump, but when he did things that I didn't agree with, I always said it. And I think
Yeah.
that, and I didn't care if people agreed or disagreed when I said this stuff about Donald Trump. If he's wrong, he's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
when Joe Biden is doing stuff, I feel bad for these people because they can't even admit to themselves out loud that this is wrong to them, and it sucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
you live there, not me.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I just want people, for the most part, like when it comes to politics, don't just go like it's okay to, you should be questioning certain things. That's how you grow. Like you gotta question what's being thrown out there at you. You can't be so accepting of what everybody says. Like, okay, this is what they say, so I guess that's how it's going to be. You should question everything. I'm sorry. I'm just a believer of that overall. So put Joe, rather it's Joe in there. It could be my number one pick who finally gets in there. But hey, if you're doing something that don't sit right with me, I'm going to vocalize it. And I don't understand why people get upset about that. We do not want to rip the head of the state. This guy is a direct, or female, whoever is in that seat, they are a direct reflection of what we are feeling as a people. So we're lucky we have social media now, freedom of the press. If something, it doesn't seem right, it's okay to question it. You can be like, oh, that guy's my favorite, but hey, I'm not effing with this decision that they made. That's all it is. That is all it is. And do better next time. Just make yourself more just more educated on the education and the political process. That's all you can do. Speaking a little bit of Joe, what are your thoughts on Lindsey Graham doubling down on him saying that Putin should be assassinated?
That's what you think. I mean, what's he saying? I disagree. I mean, that's what he thinks. And it's not like anybody's gonna listen to him, but like,
Dexter, this is another thing that bothers me. Again, the political process. You have literally people like, yeah, Lindsey, say it. Lindsey Graham is one of the biggest, like, turncoats who cannot be trusted. He cannot be trusted in office. So I'm like, it's weird. Like, yeah, okay, it might be a little bit of truth in what he said, but people are taking this and running with it. I need this to stop.
people here in America, the same way these same people, this literally is 9/11 all over again, where it's like we want to put something out there because we want you to feel a certain type of way about it, and we want you to be like, yes, let's support this. People didn't want war and all that kind of stuff like that, but then all of a sudden, like, they're like, they attacked us, this and the third, and you rally these people up, and they're fully for it. But you're not the ones going over there to fight this war, and you're saying someone needs to assassinate Lindsey. I mean, you're saying somebody needs to Putin or whatever. You're saying that over here. So you mean somebody who's over there, you want them to put their life in danger and try to assassinate him while you sit over here and sit behind a microphone. Come on now. That's why when I'm like celebrating this stuff, it's like, you look so dumb. Just be quiet.
Like, please stop. Stop. Can you guys stop taking in anything Teddy Graham has to say? Please, because
Lady Lindsey.
Lady Lindsey is not the one that you should be looking to advise you in your political, like, opinions. Like, he's not it. I'm sorry, guys. Also a little bit when it comes to Ukraine. So I feel like we talked about it. I didn't want to address it really last week because we didn't know what was really going on. I'm sorry.
No, my friend Jason said Ladybug, and it's because there's a story about Lindsey Graham. I don't know if it's true or not, but there is a story about Lindsey Graham when he had hooked up with like a hooker or something like that. And
Was it a boy or girl?
I think it was a girl. And the person said, I'm gonna say person, so I don't know for sure. And the person said something like, I think when he pulled his shirt off, his chest had like these like moles or something that looked like or his butt. Something was like, it resembled Ladybug, so people call him Ladybug because of that. It's disgusting.
This is who you listening to. Go ahead, Ladybug. You tell him. It's too much.
It was a girl.
Okay. All right, so we're going to get on this a little bit. Maybe I should save it, but no, I'm gonna bring it up a little bit because I did a little more research. And in the beginning of when the war first started in Ukraine, and they were saying a lot of Africans or Black people were not being allowed to flee to find what is it called, asylum.
Yeah, they weren't able to safety. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's very heartbreaking, not heartbreaking, but it's very frustrating to know on the back end a lot of this stuff is true, because I think at least the core of who I am, I would at least think that in times of war, chaos, lives in the balance, you would be able to look past your differences or your dislike and your disdain for a certain type of person. I'll just say Black people, and do what's right for the will of humanity. But
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
That's not what you're doing.
No.
So what are your thoughts on people doubling down on racism during times like this of strife and war?
I don't think it's shocking. I think this is expected. I think that
Yes.
if you know a person, and I'm not blaming anybody over there, and I won't even say like, what the hell are y'all doing over there? But it's
No.
those things where it's like, I don't know why we're shocked by this. I don't know why we are having moments where we are stunned by what's happening. What I'm stunned by is that people know this is happening, and then we're still like, oh, we got to pray, we got to do this, and the third. And it's just like, honestly, I'm very silent on this situation. I don't really have anything.
Same.
I think it sucks what's happening over there across the board. But at the same time, if I was over there and I have knowledge that you guys will probably tell me to get in the back of the line because of the color of my skin, I mean, I don't really have much to offer. Like I think it's great that they're getting aid and they're getting offered.
Yes, finally.
But I also look at it like, if you people who are offering this aid and you're offering this stuff like this, what they're doing to Black people, that's been out there. Like, that's not something that you don't. Yeah. So that if you're offering this aid and stuff like that, I think it's great. They're raising so much money for these people, but knowing what's happening and still being able to raise that aid, I just think that speaks volumes about people's character. Because to me, if I hear this is happening, if I know this person is being underrepresented, I want my aid to go directly to them. Prove to me that I can give you all this money, but I need to know.
Thank you.
Them, because they need it, because they're not getting it from you. And if that's not happening, if you're not trying to do that, then I think you're on the wrong side of this situation as well.
And it's so sad because again, I don't think anybody is really shocked by it. It's just one of those things, like, because we know Black people around the world has been treated like second-class citizens for God knows how long, for centuries, in this world. So it's one of those things, you're not fully shocked by it, but you get in a space where people do this BS, oh, we're changed, and to make you think things are a little better. And I'm reaching out to these African countries like, come on over here. You can learn with us. We're going to offer you education for a cheaper rate, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. It could be like some trade agreements going on. I'm not all educated when it comes to that. But for you to put it out there, and I don't care what color you are, if you are putting it out there and you're telling people to come here, we got you. And then when it's time to really make good on really having us when it gets hot in the kitchen, and you want to just discard and dispose those type of people as if it's nothing. Black people around the world, please wake up. Please, that's all I have. I mean, we kind of touched on it last week. Got to start looking at things. All other people have things to where, you can go to, and, outlets, rather, if you need help financially or whatever the case may be. A lot of us do not have those systems put in place. I hope this experience really does teach us, like, we really need to organize and take care of our own, because it's clear that time and time again, you would think others would do what's morally right, and every single time they fail us. So when are we going to start look, when are we going to start trying to create our own table rather than looking for a seat at their table? Like, and that's all I have to say about it. Is it shocking? No. Is it disheartening? Yes, it is. I'm not going to lie about that but then I guess you got to realize everybody's heart ain't like yours. So,
but
got to keep pushing.
while I do agree with you, and while I don't think that a table is being created, I do think that this is a situation where if this didn't happen, if we didn't see this, if people weren't telling us this, we would be sending money and praying for Ukraine as well. And I do think that people are mobilizing and they are getting together and they are putting this out.
Yeah.
That way, at least we know what's going on right now.
And I do love that. So it is nice to really start seeing people wake up. And again, maybe this is the first time in history it's ever really been able to be done, because even though we're so far apart from each other, we are still so connected with the power of the internet. I mean, yeah, you can't believe everything that's out there, but overwhelmingly, when the stories are saying that this is happening, you can't be but so blind. And not even the stories, because with journalism, like, you know, everybody will tailor a story.
There's there are videos, there's people who it's happening to, they're telling you directly. Like this is
yes.
This is not made up.
Yep, this is a problem. So hopefully we are in a state of, you know, I mean, I'll leave this out, like, I'll leave my personal stuff out of it, but maybe we are in a state of real rebirth. I don't know. We'll see. But on not just about the country you live in, on a world scale. And to know that even through our separations, at the end of the day, we're all together. Like, we're all on this journey of life, and nobody's story,
especially right there, like, you are in a situation where you're at war with another country. They're invading this country, and then really doesn't matter if you're black or white or whatever. They will kill any of you guys. Like, they're not holding back because of the color of your skin. Like, keep that in mind.
Nope.
Denying people entry or exit.
Yes. All right, we went a little long, but I'm going to end it on lighten it up a bit. Kanye West update.
Lightening it.
Not all about Kanye West, but the little things that make the suit, the Kanye West suit. Okay, so him and Kim K are finally divorced. This goes to show divorce really might be for rich people, and now I see why a lot of people ain't got no money. We in this, we ain't going nowhere, because
why a lot of people who ain't got no money don't get married, because they're like, oh, this is a lot of work to get out of this.
When you got money, child, you can move divorce mountains, and there are true miracles with a coin attached, because for all them, I mean, just as much money as they both have, and maybe that's why it went a little faster, because we both got the coin, and even though he ain't, and he's trying to keep it, listen, how much I got to throw at this to make it happen? Kim said he gonna try all the stuff. We ain't pushing through this. But even with that said, supposedly Kanye says he still is depressed about it. Let me see. Kim Kardashian also said she is absolutely disgusted by how Kanye has portrayed Pete Davidson's image in his recent video, Easy. So she is upset by it, and it's despicable. It's disgusting. Reports are saying Pete Davidson thinks it's hilarious.
If he out there that he thinks that's funny after this woman is speaking up on your behalf like that, that's garbage on his part.
It really is. But at the end of the day, in this whole situation, I think Pete Davidson might be winning more than anybody else, because Pete Davidson's name is being talked about, brought up more, and blogs, on television, or news recaps, more than I've ever seen. And if it wasn't for that connection with Kim Kardashian, I don't think we would be here. But part of me, I'm like, is he doing this to get that extra buzz? Like, well, Pete, as long as they're talking about you?
Pete's not really that kind of, from what I understand, he's not that kind of person. It's weird, because people are like, Pete doesn't want to be famous. Well, then, like, why is he on TV, and why would he date Kim Kardashian? Like,
Yeah.
he seems like he's somewhat low key, but like he's not. Like he was engaged to Ariana Grande. Like
Thank you.
you're not a low key guy. Like I think we could leave that narrative out. I think he may have some mental issues that he's like,
Hmm.
and I think that's one of the reasons why he kind of keeps like a low profile now. But I
Yeah.
by the whole Pete Davidson is low and doesn't want to be famous or whatever. I also think that Kanye West is doing this because he wants Pete and Kim to break up. And if what you're saying is true, and Pete is liking this, and Kim is obviously not caring for this, Kanye West is succeeding. I don't think Kim should have spoke out publicly on that video. Like you shouldn't have said anything about it at all. Don't acknowledge it. As far as Kanye is concerned, in the world is concerned, you never saw it.
Exactly. And if Pete has a problem with it, let him step up and say it. I don't know. I guess she thinks that she's appealing like on her man's defense, but at the end of the day, he got a mouth. Let him talk about it. And you're sitting there saying you're disgusting. He was like, I think it's funny. Like, what are we doing here, Kim? Like, what?
To me,
what's happening?
One of those things that, like, at the end of the day, Kanye West, he wants to get your attention, and like,
Yes.
Kim should have just said, like, did you know he did this to Pete in the video? And she'd be like, no, I'm not interested in watching that. And honestly, I think that would have hurt Kanye West more than anything else.
Yes, it would bruise that ego. It really would. Somebody said, oh, Marjan, she said, you don't date Kim Kardashian and not want attention. like it just doesn't make sense. We're not really picking up what you're putting down, Pete. And other Kanye, well, all roads lead to Kanye West. Julia Fox, they're talking about her again. Last week we asked you to.
You'll be talking about her a lot, and you know I don't want to talk about her.
But the stories are they gotta be.
Wait, I will say this though. Yesterday I was watching like Access Hollywood or something like that, and they were talking about the Batman premiere, and they were like, yeah, all the stars came out. Jason Momoa was out to support his stepdaughter, and support his stepdaughter. Channing Tatum was out. Julia Fox was extending her 15 minutes, and she was out. That's what they said on TV.
Like, y'all can try to make this girl relevant each time, but it's up to people like us, the news, the media, the blogs. Like, and I like the way they're doing it because whenever they talk about her, it's with a level of ridiculous spin. And you can tell this girl, like, really wants to be that girl. Baby, you are not, you never will be, at least with the culture now. Before, outside of the culture, you really might be that thing. You told us out here, you just be letting billionaires run up in you through and through, got your little baby, you modeling, or whatever the case may be. Stay over there where you were, because we don't want it here. And especially after her latest claim on an interview that she was on, where she says she is having PTSD, so to speak, or heightened anxiety because now she owns a Birkin. And I don't know how many Birkins she owns. And it could be she could have been a major Birkin owner before Kanye West came along. I would hope, with all the billionaires you done had up in you, I would hope you have a couple of Birkins, but I don't know why. I guess all of a sudden now in an interview, she's letting us know she gets anxiety because, sometimes she'll wake up in a drenching sweat, so afraid that somebody is going to steal her Birkin, or possibly while she's out, or possibly even break in her home to take the Birkins. It's a lot of pressure when you own a Birkin. A lot.
She must live in Philadelphia, because that's how I'd be. I'd be like, damn, these kids gonna steal my damn car today. I feel her on that one. I got you. Car probably costs the same amount of money that her Birkin costs, so I can only imagine how.
Oh no, unless you got unless you're driving a Maybach or something like that.
How much them damn house?
My Infiniti and whatever your car. That's not our conversation.
Wait, how much them purses cost?
Oh my God, child! I've known some Birkins to go up close to $500,000, $600,000, depending on the value somebody sets on it. If it's possibly like a heavy designer made you a custom one, the value goes up on that. I've known please misquote me if I'm wrong, But I want to say you can go closer up to possibly $1 million for a particular type of Birkin. So yes.
I didn't know that. Wow. Well,
Yeah, they're extremely high end. Birkins make Louis Vuitton like what? Yeah, somebody said 10K to $1 million. Yes. So our little cars, our squatters ain't got nothing on no Birkin for real, for real.
you gotta, I'm anti-gun. I'm not into guns. I'm walking around with a $50 to $10,000 to $1 million purse. You come to me, I'm gonna shoot. Oh, I can't say that.
So are you now part of the NRA next for your Birkin?
But if I was carrying a Birkin around, I have to be. You don't. Ooh, if I had a Birkin, I'm gonna have.
Or you don't carry the Birkin.
If I'm carrying a Birkin, I got a security guard with me too, because
exactly.
That's just too much money to walk around with. Like,
but also,
I feel harmless. If I had something like that, if I had an item like that in my house, I would be the same exact way. Like, I'm scared somebody gonna take this from me. Matter of fact, I don't even want it.
So why are you telling us that you got it in your damn house? Girl, you want the damn attention and this what we gonna give it to you. And
why would you say? Yeah, okay.
Bro Talk Live's own Jason, what is it, FK Urban?
Mm-hmm.
He said Andrew Kyle was gonna.
It ain't real. It's not a real one. Are you
a little Merkin or a little baby $10,000 Birkin? He might.
The average is $250,000.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That is crazy.
Uh-huh. And you're just walking around telling people it's for, but like you said, have an armed guard. Why are you telling the whole world? You're putting a target on you. Come on in here and get all my Birkin bags that I got. Like, what is going on with y'all? Stop. We did not feel bad for you. There is no empathy. Like, these are rich people's problems. Leave us alone with your rich problems. And if I am carrying a Birkin on the street and you come for me, take this shit. Because if I'm walking around with it, I got it. It ain't no issues. Take it. I'm going to go get another one. I got my people to plug, to connect. Take it.
I mean, I think if anything that I currently own right now, literally everything, you could take it. If you came up with me, take it. Take it all.
Sure.
$250,000, you have to fight me. You got to take this out of cold dead hands. Like, we got to.
No, I'm not fighting. No. My kids, yes. Family, yes. This bag, you gonna take that shit, because I wish I would sit there and lose my life. So the robber coming, trying to snatch my bag, and I'm like, no, it's a Birkin. You got it like that, sweetie.
No.
It's a sign of status. If you got it like that, go and get another one.
And truthfully, this is how I feel about these rappers with these chains. And when they're like, the people like tried to steal their chain or whatever, and they fought them over, I understand that. Because you not gonna be out here with my chain on that I spent a bunch of money on. Not happening.
I'm in the club flexing. Anything can happen. It can go down.
Look, Black Showman said you can get a Birkin on the black market for $100.
And do that. But then you walking around on the street, people might be thinking it's a real Birkin. You get knocked upside the head for a damn $100.
I don't know. You probably got a different level of fear. Like, you know how she's scared somebody's gonna break in and steal her stuff. If you got the fake one, you probably scared somebody gonna touch it and realize it's fake. Y'all waking up. Yeah. Just leave the Birkins alone.
This ain't your game. This Birkin game ain't the game for you. I know that's right. Tell them, Jason. That is FKA Urban,
who also does a radio show too. He has a radio show, Power 104. Power. Jason, write the radio station name down. It's Power 1047.
Yep. So and then we'll pin it for people who want to meet. Please check our guy out on, I think it is Power 107 Dex. And then tomorrow, the boys of Bro Talk will be going live, the best late night podcast on these internet streets. Every Tuesday, 10 o'clock-ish, because they black. So... to 10 o'clock-ish. If you guys are free, if you're up, please Let me pin comment. So if you're up tomorrow, please, or even if you take a little nap, because I'm telling y'all on Bro Talk, I have spent some of my funniest Tuesday nights with Bro Talk being on. And let me be clear, when they go on break, it's one of those situations like, all right, so what the fuck am I going to do on Tuesday nights now? Like, I really need y'all to bring y'all asses back. But trust me, guys, you won't be disappointed. So if you have time tomorrow, please check out Bro Talk Live, the best late night podcast. Okay, and with that said, we had a great show today, Dexter. Thank you guys for staying out. I think we've been doing good with time, but I think we were having a good time. We just let this one go.
Today was so because we went earlier, and I didn't realize that we went over our time.
Way over the time, but it's okay. For all time's sakes, we guys won't hold your day up like this. Too many more times. But thank you so much for watching. Our beautiful YouTubers, thank you. Anybody watching on here, our YouTube is actually growing. Please subscribe, like. The goal is to eventually be off of here and take it to YouTube along with other platforms. So, oh, look at Purple. She said, please keep going. Y'all love it. Y'all are hurt. We love you guys.
We would be here all night. We don't stop talking. It's the problem.
No, that's the problem, y'all. Like, if y'all could listen to our phone conversations, get off the phone. Like, what y'all got to talk about? And primarily, this is what you guys are seeing anyway, our phone conversation. But guys, we appreciate your loyalty. Thank you so much for always pulling up and showing out and being back and forth with the comments. So the YouTube channel, you can actually find it under me, Chocolate Divinity. So look up Chocolate Divinity on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe for us. Do us that favor. We love you. Dex, you wanted to say something else? You did a laugh and look to the side. You want to put us in on a joke?
You hear this, dog? This is crazy.
Oh, that's okay. That just goes to show, get you a dog so you can have a dog off of the barks.
I had a dog and he started barking right now because he hears this dog barking. Like, you going to go outside with him. You want to go outside with him?
Go over to your friend's house. Since you want to talk, you go over there because they don't mind them people talking, them dogs talking. In this house, you be quiet when daddy is on set.
My team texted you that, didn't they?
All right, love you guys. We will see you next week, and we will have most likely a guest on next Monday. She's an author, but we'll give you more details as the week goes on. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys next week. Love you. Bye.